Hello. Today we will solve a question from the TOEFL Reading section, focusing on the read a social media post question type. We will practice understanding everyday notices, identifying rules, instructions, or key conditions, and selecting the most accurate answer based on practical, real-life, written information. Welcome back to another exciting lesson. Today we are going to dive into a very practical reading task that mirrors real life, reading a social media post. These questions test your ability to quickly grasp the main idea and specific details from public announcements, just like you would see on your own social feed. Let's sharpen our skills and get ready to ace this section together. If you are enjoying this lesson and want to master every part of the exam, make sure to subscribe to my TOEFL right now, join our community of learners, and never miss a tip that could boost your score. Pine Ridge Parks and Recreation. Let's start by looking at the title of this post. The title says Pine Ridge Parks and Recreation. This is very important because the phrase parks and recreation typically refers to a local government department that manages public parks and organizes sports and activities for the community. Recognizing this immediately tells us that the information following this title will likely be about a community event, a sports league, or a public facility. It sets the context for a recreational and community-focused message. Get ready to hit the field. Here, the author uses an energetic opening phrase. The expression hit the field is an idiom that means to go onto the playing field to start a game or practice. It sets an enthusiastic tone and signals that the post is about an outdoor sport. This catches the reader's attention right away. Registration for our summer adult co-ed soccer league is now open. This sentence contains the core announcement. The phrase registration tells us the administrative action required. The subject is the Summer Adult Co-ed Soccer League. The word co-ed is short for co-educational, meaning men and women play together. Finally, is now open, indicates that the sign-up period has officially started. The season runs from June 10th to August 12th, with games played on Tuesday and Thursday evenings at Northwood Park. Now we get the specific logistics. The phrase season runs from gives us the duration of the league. We also see the schedule, Tuesday and Thursday evenings, and the location, Northwood Park. These details are crucial for someone deciding if they have the time to participate. The league is designed for players of all skill levels, from beginners to more competitive athletes. This sentence clarifies who can join. By stating it is for players of all skill levels, the post emphasizes inclusivity. It welcomes everyone, from beginners to more competitive athletes, ensuring that people don't feel intimidated if they aren't professionals. You can register as a full team or as an individual player to be placed on a team. Here, the post explains the enrollment options. You have the choice to register as a full team if you already have a group, or as an individual player. If you sign up alone, you will be placed on a team, which resolves the worry of not having teammates. To sign up, please visit the Community Center front desk or use the online portal on our website. This is a very important instruction sentence. It gives two methods to sign up. The first is to visit the Community Center front desk, which implies going in person. The second option is to use the online portal via the internet. Pay attention to these distinct methods. The registration fee is $60 per player, which includes a team jersey. This sentence details the cost. The registration fee is explicitly stated as $60 per player. It also adds value by noting that this fee includes a team jersey, so players know what they get for their money. The deadline to register is May 25th. Every notice usually has a time limit. Here, the word deadline signals the final date to act, which is May 25th. Missing this date means missing the chance to play. Spaces are limited, so we encourage early signups to avoid disappointment. This sentence creates a sense of urgency. The phrase spaces are limited means there is a cap on the number of participants. Therefore, they suggest early signups specifically to avoid disappointment, meaning if you wait too long, you might not get a spot. This is a great way to stay active and meet new people. The post ends with a persuasive closing. It highlights the social and health benefits, noting it is a way to stay active and meet new people. This reinforces the community aspect mentioned in the title. All right, let's tackle the first question. We need to identify the primary purpose of this text. What is the main goal of this post? First, let's understand what the question is asking. It wants to know the main goal of the post. This means we need to look at the big picture. Why was this text written? We should look for words related to the overall purpose, such as announcing, recruiting, or informing about an event. The text explicitly mentions registration for our summer adult co-ed soccer league is now open, which is a strong clue about the goal. Let's evaluate option A together. To recruit professional soccer players for a new team, option A suggests the goal is to recruit professional soccer players. However, looking back at the text, we see in sentence 4 that the league is for players of all skill levels, including beginners. The title also mentions parks and recreation, which implies a community hobby, not a professional job. Therefore, this is incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option B, to inform the public about a recreational sports program. Option B says the goal is to inform the public about a recreational sports program. This aligns perfectly with the text. The post is from Parks and Recreation. It discusses a summer adult co-ed soccer league and invites players of all skill levels. This describes a recreational program exactly, therefore this is correct. Let's move on to option C, to announce the winners of a recent tournament. Option C suggests the post is to announce the winners. The text is about opening registration for a future season, specifically stating is now open and giving a deadline of May 25th. There is no mention of past games or winners. Therefore, this is incorrect. Next, we'll examine option D, to ask for volunteers to help with park maintenance. Option D claims the goal is to ask for volunteers for park maintenance. While the text mentions Northwood Park as the location, it is asking for players to register for soccer, not for people to clean or fix the park. Therefore, this is incorrect. The correct answer is B, because the key expressions in the text directly match this option, while the other choices either provide incomplete information or clearly contradict the passage. Moving on to the second question. Here, we need to find specific details about the registration process. Where can people go in person to sign up for the league? This question is asking for a specific location. The key phrase here is in person. We need to scan the text for information about how to register physically rather than online or by phone. We should look at sentence 6, which discusses signing up. It says, visit the community center front desk. This is the specific detail we need to match with the options. Let's take a closer look at option A. At the park where the games are scheduled to be played, option A suggests signing up at the park. The text mentions Northwood Park, but explicitly states that this is where games played take place. It does not say registration happens there, therefore this is incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option B, through a specialized sports application on their phone. Option B suggests using a specialized sports application. The text mentions an online portal on our website, but not a phone app. Furthermore, the question specifically asks where to go in person, so digital methods are not the answer here. Therefore, this is incorrect. Next, we'll examine option C, at the main desk of the local recreation facility. Option C says at the main desk of the local recreation facility. This is a paraphrase of the text in sentence 6, which instructs people to visit the community center front desk. Community center corresponds to recreation facility, and front desk corresponds to main desk. Therefore, this is correct. Here's option D. Let's break it down. By contacting the captains of the existing teams. Option D suggests contacting the captains. The text says you can register as an individual to be placed on a team, but it does not instruct you to contact any captains directly for registration. Therefore, this is incorrect. The correct answer is C, because the key expressions in the text directly match this option, while the other choices either provide incomplete information or clearly contradict the passage. And finally, let's look at the third question. This one asks about the reasoning provided in the text. Why is it a good idea for interested individuals to register soon? The question asks for the reason behind the suggestion to register soon. We need to find the part of the text that encourages speed or mentions a limitation. Sentence 9 is the key place to look. It states spaces are limited and advises early signups to avoid disappointment. This cause and effect relationship is what we are looking for. Let's evaluate option A together. To receive a discount on the registration fee. Option A claims the reason is to receive a discount. While sentence 7 mentions the registration fee is $60, it does not mention any early bird discount or price reduction for signing up early. Therefore, this is incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option B. To guarantee they will have a spot in the league. Option B suggests the reason is to guarantee they will have a spot. This matches the text in sentence 9 perfectly. The text warns that spaces are limited and says to sign up early to avoid disappointment. Avoiding disappointment in this context means ensuring you don't miss out on a spot. Therefore, this is correct. Let's move on to option C, to get their first choice of a jersey color. Option C says it is to get their first choice of a jersey color. The text does mention in sentence 7 that the fee includes a team jersey, but it says nothing about choosing colors or that early registration helps with color choice. Therefore, this is incorrect. Finally, let's check option D, to be selected for the most competitive team. Option D implies early registration is to be selected for the most competitive team. The text states the league is for beginners to more competitive athletes, but it does not say that registering early affects which team you are placed on or how competitive that team is. Therefore, this is incorrect. The correct answer is B, because the key expressions in the text directly match this option, while the other choices either provide incomplete information or clearly contradict the passage.